Views from the Bleachers Podcast, Path of Designer, P.Kidd. Hey, are the new... Almost messed that up.
Are the new what?
I was about to say New Jersey.
Say New Jersey.
What? I was about to say
Brooklyn Nets.
Question on the table today. Are the Brooklyn Nets back to being a finals contender? They've really turned their season around. Amazing how Steve Nash just basically not coaching and then having a coach that actually coaches and Jacques Vaughn makes a difference. A defensive system is in place. They're really playing a lot better. Kyrie and KD are just ridiculous. They're Kyrie and KD as advertised. Do you think they're back in finals conversation?
Be crazy to think they're not. 11 in a row. Look like they got a chance for 12. They're 24-12 right now. They're right behind the Celtics. Based off how they're structured and the pieces they got cooking right now, they could absolutely compete with the Celtics. I think the biggest issue they had facing the Celtics is the simple fact that they didn't have a coach to make a good scheme to get KD some clean shots. And on top of the fact that he's been hacked the whole time. And, with Kyrie back, they're both shooting pretty much 50% from the field, which is unheard of. I think they're back. Not only are they back, even from a defensive standpoint, you got Ben Simmons cooking now. You got TJ Warren coming back, who I'm big on TJ because I know the pieces he filled, that you call him big Jimmy Butler light all you want to. Yeah. That's 15 points right there in a defensive presence. I think they got it. I think the only team that can beat them right now would be the Bucks. Giannis is just Giannis. Yeah. And maybe Philly, because I don't think that they have anyone that can compete with Embiid in the paint. They really light at the center position. So any team that can beat them at the center, that's really big at the center position or power forward position, I think will give them trouble.
The biggest question to me is going to be, are they going to be healthy down the stretch? And the only reason I say that is because there's not a lot to go to outside of Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, right? In this team, while there's a lot of nice role players on there, there's nobody that I look at and I'm going to be like, yeah, he's going to be able to step up and get anywhere closer to mantle. Maybe TJ Warren. TJ Warren's been he's been a nice get to this point. He hasn't been crazy great. He's had a couple of nice 20-point games. But I think the biggest thing for me is, right, like we're dealing with a couple of players with, outside of everything else, just the basketball stuff, have had issues staying healthy throughout the season the last couple of years. Now, Kyrie and KD have both kind of been able to do that because of COVID, different things, right? They've made it further in the season than we've seen. But the last time we saw a full 82-game season for both of these guys, right, they struggled to actually be ready to go in the playoffs. They struggled. KD was ready to go. James Harden wasn't there. Kyrie wasn't there, right? I think that's still going to be the biggest question around this team for me. I think if everybody's 100% healthy, listen, we said this when they first got together. The league is theirs. If this team is 100%. Kevin Durant's a monster. Kevin Durant is a freak of nature. And I think that the one thing that the teams that you look at that you say, okay, they might match up well against them. For me, Boston probably is the best team that matches up against them. Sure. But then it's Kevin Durant versus Jason Tatum. Who's going to come out ahead in that situation? Milwaukee doesn't match up well against them to me at all. How they play defense to me, it's just like, yeah, that works against like the Chicago Bulls that want to take a bunch of mid-range shots and sit there. But it doesn't work when Kyrie Irving can pull it from half court and just look you in your eye and be like, you going to step up?
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point. And you know what? That takes me back to the playoff series that they had against Milwaukee. Remember, they were cooking. Giannis was sitting there calling KD the best player on the planet until, he slid under Kyrie's foot and Kyrie was out with an ankle. So the one thing I will say is,
semantics.
Whatever you want to call it. I don't think it was dirty per se. I don't think Giannis is a dirty player, but it happened. And it one of those things that's like, yo, if that didn't happen, you get smoked 4-0 at the crib. I don't care what nobody say. The Nets were smacking them by double digits both games. If you look at it, and it was putting them on skates. So it's like, hey, you take away a good weapon from KD, you expect to happen. I'm wishing for the best. I'm hoping for the best. I know this is a important year for Kyrie as far as his reputation and everything is concerned. I can see them going the distance. And the question, it begs the question: is it really a championship or bust season for them? I think it's locked down for 4 years. I think you should re-up on Kyrie. I think you should make sure you make that right. No. I don't think it's a championship or bust season, especially if they get to make a nice playoff run. What do you think?
I believe it's a championship or bust season just for the simple fact that I don't think Kyrie should go back. If I'm Kyrie Irving, I wouldn't want to be a part of that organization. Not to say that Kyrie didn't do things on his part, 100%. I think Kyrie did some things that, hey, listen, you got to hold that on your shoulders. And even Kyrie has said as much. I feel like, okay, maybe there's some people I offended that I wasn't taking into account, but at the same time, I wasn't thinking about those people. He didn't say that exactly, but kind of in that light of the conversation.
Yeah.
But how the Brooklyn Nets tried to ostracize him, tried to make him grovel to get his job back. That's a garbage organization. I wouldn't want to be a part of that organization if I'm Kyrie Irving. That's just.
Does he stay for KD though?
I don't know. I don't know, because even KD, right? KD with the whole thing, not to say that you want to see your teammate take a stand in that situation, but everybody just kind of watched what was happening. Now, granted, right, because of a lot of the things that Kyrie did, but everybody else, the whole league kind of just was like, let's see how this plays out. And it wasn't until your assistant NBA rep, player rep, right, or whatever it's called, vice president of player NBA of the NBA.
Jaylen Brown, yeah.
Jaylen Brown spoke out.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden everybody had this outrage in Kyrie Irving's defense, right? Like me and you were kind of on it over on the breeze immediately, like, hey, bro, yeah, don't make him grovel to get his job back. Like, I get he did some messed up stuff, but that's neither here nor there. From the basketball standpoint, I would love to see it continue. I don't know if it will. Locking up Ben Simmons or having Ben Simmons locked up is a big hit to your cap. You kind of just got to go, yeah, he don't make $40 million just to enjoy watching him be out there and play the game, because you're like, hey, man, that's a $40 million player that's putting up 9 points tonight and not even trying. He took 5 shots.
Hey, I say this. Tough. He's the Draymond Green of that team. If you look at it, the Nets have rebuilt the Warriors in just a different fashion. That's my take on that.
he's the sensitive light-skinned one, and
there you go.
But he's the guy that can do everything.
He does it all. He can have 20 points one time, 15 assists on another, absolutely nothing, and a bunch of rebounds. That's it. But you know what? Y'all let us know what y'all think. I think that I don't think it's championship or bust. I think they run it back. Maybe you think
I will say this before we get up out of here. Does this change your idea on it at all? In the winning streak that the Nets have had, now granted, they were losing bad early, but they've played Charlotte, Atlanta, Indiana, Washington, Toronto, Detroit, Golden State, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Atlanta, and Charlotte.
Doesn't change it for me because Atlanta was cooking. They smacked them. They smacked the Bucks full strength.
Atlanta was cooking? I ain't seen Atlanta cook all season. I ain't gonna lie to you. Atlanta's, you're right. You know what I mean? Come on, dog. Atlanta was cooking.
Did you say who did you say? Who else did you say real quick?
They played Atlanta. They played Charlotte. They played Golden State at home. So Golden State on the road has been god awful. And I don't believe anybody played except Poole and maybe Clay in that one. They
full
played
strength.
Detroit.
They cook them.
They played Toronto. Probably they've been cooking mugs on the road. They played Toronto. They played Washington. The tough games in there to me are Indiana has been really good. They played them really tough, 136, 133, and Milwaukee, because I do believe Giannis played in that game.
I got Indy, Wizards, and Bucks. 11 in a row is still 11 in a row.
11 in a row is tough. It's still 11 in a row. But is it a Chicago Bulls last season 11 in a row?
I'll tell you this. Even if it isn't, them going on 11-0 run with KD and Kyrie cooking bodes better than the Bulls going on 11-0 run right now. So
nah, I don't know about that. Hey, listen, kid, we went 11 in a row. We
go 11 in a row right now. Championship?
Championship of us, baby.
You're a fool, man.
Number 7. Hey, let us know how you guys feel in the comments below, man. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you got a different opinion than us, man, you might just be sitting in a different section. Views from Bleachers Podcast. Peace.